ओम नमो
नारायण
भगवते।
नरोत्तम देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ते मयि अपेत अखिल चापले अर्भके
ते मयि अपेत अखिले चापले अर्भके
दान्ते अद्रुत क्रीडनके अणुवर्तिनि
दान्ते अद्भुत क्रीडन के अनुवर्तिनी।
चक्रुः कृपां यद्यपि तुल्यदर्शनाः
चक्रुः कृपा यद्यपि तुल्य दर्शनाः।
शुश्रुमाणे मुनयः अल्पभाषिणी
शुश्रुमाणे मुनयः अल्पभाषिणी।
उच्छिष्टलेपनुमोदित द्विजैः
उच्छिष्टलेप अ- अ- अनुमोदितः द्विजैः।
सकृत स्म भुञ्जे तत् अपास्त किल्बिषः
सकृत् संभुञ्जे तद अपास्त किल्बिषः।
एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्ध चेतसः
एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसः
तद्धर्म एव आत्मरुचि प्रजायते
तद्धर्म एव आत्मरुचिः प्रजायते।
I read whole ते मयि अपेत अखिल चापले अर्भके दान्ते अद्रुत क्रीडनके अनुवर्तिनि चक्रु कृपां यद्यपि तुल्य दर्शनाः शुश्रुमाणे मुनय अल्पभाषिणी उच्छिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितः द्विजैः सकृत स्म भुञ्जे तत् अपात किल्बिषः एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्ध चेतसः तद्धर्म एव आत्मरुचिः प्रजायते प्लीज रीड
ते मयि अपेत अखिल च अपले अर्भके दान्ते अद्भुत क्रीडनके अनुवर्तिनि चक्रुः कृपां यद्यपि तुल्यदर्शनाः शुश्रुमाणे मुनयः अल्पभाषिणी उच्छिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितः द्विजैः सकृत्सं भुञ्जे तद अपास्त किल्बिषः एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसः तद्धर्म एव आत्मरुचिः प्रजायते। पुनः माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ते मय्ये मय्ये आपते खिला चापले अर्भे अर्भ के दान्ते अधृत क्रीणन के अनुवर्तनी चक्रु कृपाम यद्यपि अतुल्य दर्शना शुश्रुमाने मुन्यो अल्पभाषिणी उच्छिष्ट लेपान अनुमोदितो द्विजैः सकृत समा भुञ्जे तद तद अपास्ता अपास्ता किल विषय एवं प्रवत्तस्य विशुद्ध चेतसा सतधर्म एवात्म रुचि प्रजायते।
and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although they were impartial by nature, those followers of the Vedantas blessed me with their causeless mercy. As far as I was concerned, I was self-controlled and had no attachment for sport, even though I was a boy. In addition, I was not naughty and I did not speak more than required. One permission, I took the remnants of their food, and by so doing, all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus, being engaged, I become purified in heart, and at that time, the very nature of the transcendent attractive to me. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, all the Vedas are searching after me. Lord Sri Chaitanya says that in the Vedas, the subject matters are only three, namely to establish the relation of living entities with the personality of Godhead, perform the relative duty service, and thus achieve the ultimate goal, back to Godhead. As such, Vedanta Vadis or the followers of the Vedanta indicate the pure devotees of the personality of Godhead. Such Vedanta Vadis or the Bhakti Vedantas are impartial in distributing the transcendental knowledge of devotional service. To them, no one is enemy or friend. No, no one is educated or uneducated. No one is specially favorable and no one is unfavorable. The Bhakti Vedantas see that the people in general are wasting time in false sensuous things. Their business is to get the ignorant mass of people to reestablish the lost relationship with the personality of Godhead. By such endure, even the most fervent is roused up to the sense of spiritual life, and thus being anyway by the Bhakti Vedantas, the people in general gradually progress on the path of transcendental realization. So Vedantavadis initiated the boy even before he became self-controlled and was detached from childish sporting, etc. But before the initiation, the boy, became more and more advanced in discipline, which is very essential for one who wishes to make progress in the life. In the system of Varnashram Dharma, which is the beginning of actual human life. Small boys after 5 years of age are sent to become brahmacharis at the Guru Ashrama, where these things are systematically taught to everyone, be he a king's son or the son of an ordinary citizen. The training was compulsory not only to create good citizens of the state, but also to prepare the boys' future life for spiritual realization. The irresponsible life of sense enjoyment was unknown to the children of the followers of the Varnashram system. A boy was even injected with spiritual acumen before being placed by the father in the womb of the mother. Both the father and the mother were responsible for the boy's success in being liberated from the material bondage. That is the process of successful family planning. It is to beget children for complete perfection without being without being disciplined, and without being fully obedient. No one can become following the instructions of the spiritual master, and without doing so, no one is able to go back to Godhead. Pure devotion is as much infectious in a good sense as infectious diseases. Or pure devotee is cleared from all kinds of sins. The personality of Godhead is the purest entity, and unless one is equally pure from the infection of material qualities, one cannot become a pure devotee of the Lord. The Bhakti Vedantas, as above mentioned, were pure devotees, and the boy became infected with their qualities of purity by the association and by eating once the remnants of the foodstuffs taken by them. Such remnants may be taken even without permission of the pure devotee. There are sometimes pseudo devotees, and one should be very much cautious about them. There are many things which hinder one from entering devotional service, but by the association of pure devotees, all these obstacles are removed. The neophyte devotee becomes practically enriched with the transcendental qualities of the pure devotee, which means attraction for the personality of Godhead's name, fame, qualities, pastimes, etc. Infection of qualities of pure devotees means to imbibe the taste of pure devotional always, and the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. This transcendental taste at once makes all material things distasteful. Their pure devotee is not at all attracted by material activities. After the elimination of all sins or obstacles on the path of devotional service, one can become attracted. One can have steadiness. One can have perfect taste. One can have transcendental emotions, and at last, one can be situated on the plane of loving service. All these stages by the association of pure devotees, and that is the purpose of this stanza. Om ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपः ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। श्रीगुरोः श्रीतपदकमलं श्री च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सान्द्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य राधा कृष्ण सगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठा भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते ते देवे गौरवणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम स्कंद फर्स्ट chapter 5 Narada's instruction on Srimad Bhagavatam. We try to understand shloka number 24 and 25, which of the Narada's previous lives, they told us their previous lives story. How is it? Prabhuji will tell us in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. So we are seeing the qualifications on how to receive the favor of the devotees. So this is what basically is being made to be understood by us in these particular verses. So it starts with not being restless, self-controlled, no attachment for sports, not being naughty, and not speak more than required. So these are the qualifications. The Arbaka means not experienced very much or almost foolish, ignorant. So they are called Arbaka. So although Narad Muniji was a child, a boy, but by the association of the exalted devotees, he became very sober. Here it is clearly mentioned talking too much unnecessarily is against spiritual advancement of life. Therefore, sometimes those who are very, very talkative, they are ordered by their spiritual master that you should keep silence, Mauni. And that is why we see Mauni Munis in some of the, when we go for the Kumbh Melas, but there also, though they are not speaking anything from mouth, by actions they are speaking. So that is not silence. Prabhupada says silence does not mean means not to talk nonsense. So whenever you speak about Krishna, that is real silence. In fact, there is a verse about this, about Ambrish Maharaj also regarding this. Savai manha Krishna padar vindayo vachanshi vaikunta guna anuvarnane. If you fix up our mind on Krishna, naturally these things will be controlled. First of all, mind must be fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. Always chant Hare Krishna, chant and hear. So naturally, with chanting of the holy name, we'll memorize the form of Krishna, the lotus feet of Krishna. So in this way, if we fix our mind always on the lotus feet of Krishna, all the good qualities which are the necessity, they will come. That is why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has also condemned anything else, especially if you try to imitate. Says we should not imitate the previous acharyas or others. There's a very good song which comes about it. मन तुम्ही केशर वैष्णव प्रतिष्ठा रे तारे निर्जन रे घरे तव हरि नाम केवल कैतव. So that should be avoided. Imitation. It should be spontaneously that it should be coming. Because when it is spontaneous, then Krishna also responds spontaneously. Sevan mukhe hi jivha dau swayameva spurteva adaha. We must give service to the spiritual master. And spiritual master does not accept service for his personal benefit. It is always for Krishna's benefit. So that is required. And that is why this word śuśrūmane. So if anyone follows without any hesitation, whatever the spiritual master says, then naturally he becomes kind. In fact, spiritual master is supposed to be kind. He pledges to be kind to everyone. But why spiritual master? Anyone. If you follow, if you obey, then he becomes merciful. Oh, this boy is very nice. This employee is so good. He obeys orders. He serves very nicely. So this is what is required. Chanakya Pandit, he says in one of the verses, Nahi harate jyotsnam chandra chandala veshmani. So chandala means the lowest caste, lower than the Shudras. They are the meat eaters. So he says, because it is the house of a chandala, therefore moon does not consider that he should be refused, he should not go there. He is equally distributed. So similarly, all devotees or even Krishna is not elected. Krishna's devotee, Krishna, they are ready to bestow the mercy to anyone. Tulyaha. So this word, Tulya Darshinaha, this means the mercy is open for everyone. Krishna also says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dvesho asti na priya. It's a fact. Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, how can he be any enemy to somebody and friend to somebody? It is not possible. So, Name Dveshu Asti Na Priha. Nobody is my specially favorite and nobody is my enemy. But Nitu Bhajante Mama Prityaha. But a person who has taken devotional service and with love and faith is engaged in bhakti, I am especially inclined to him. So this is not partiality. So when Narad Muni in his previous word was very sincerely, obediently engaged in service of the saintly persons, they chakruhu kripam. They did a special favor. Because if there was not a special favor, how was it that immediately next but he became Narad? So the main basic principle is śuśrūṣa, service. It is very important. One should be very grave and different from unnecessary engagement. And these things are possible when we detach ourselves from the so-called material engagements, which is the four regulative principles: illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, gambling. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that in the Vedas, the subject matters are only three, namely to establish the relationship of the living entities with personality of Godhead, perform the relative duties in devotional service, and thus achieve the ultimate goal, back to Godhead. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed Vedanta philosophy with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he said that in the Vedanta there are three things only: Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. In Bhagavad Gita also same three things: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Sambandha means what is my relationship with God. Abhidya means what are the dealings between us. And then Prayojana means why this relationship, why these are the activities. Jiva Goswami ji has also given a quotation from the Shastra that it does not matter from which family a person is coming. But if he is a pure devotee, he should be taken care of. And he should be offered charity. He should be offered prasadam. And that is very, very important. So here also the Bhakti Vedantis, they did the same thing. They offered the prasadam to the little boy Narada. So being initiated by the Bhakti Vedantas, the people in generally gradually progress on the path of transcendental realization. So he was initiated even before he became self-controlled and detached from childish portion. But he showed the reason for that. And what was that? That he became more and more advanced in discipline, which is very essential if you have to make progress. It says in the Shastras, Utsahat, Dhairyat, Nishchayat, Tatta Karma Pravartana. So this is discipline. The more we become advanced, and naturally we get the mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna. Guru Krishna Kripa. There must be mercy of both of them, Guru and Krishna. Without Guru's Kripa, one cannot reach Krishna, and without Krishna's Kripa, one cannot get a Guru. So we should follow the disciplinary method sincerely under guidance of the Guru, and then it will be very, very easy to go back home, back to Godhead. Narad Muni is a spiritual master of Vyasdev, and from Vyasdev, the disciplic succession is coming. Therefore, our Guru is representative of Vyasdev, and that is why on the birthday we celebrate the Vyas Puja. It is mentioned in the Shastras, Mahājana ena gataha sapantaha. So there are 12 Maharajanas, great authorities. And out of 12, Narad Muni is one. So he is a Mahājana and he became Mahājana on account of his austerity and following the principles. So it is said that anyone who follows Narada, he also becomes Mahājana. This is disciplic succession. Then we see that Prabhupada is also talking about Atma Ruchi. Now, Atmaruchi means attraction for the soul or self. Very simple process of awakening Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Mattah parataram na anyat. You can take in different platform, different kinds of attraction. But when our attraction is in Krishna, that is supreme. The ultimate Atmaruchi, if you want to know, then we should be busy with such persons who are engaged in that type of Atmaruchi. This is called sadhu sangaha. Sangata sanjayate kamaha. So as you associate, so your desires become. That means we become attached. So we should always be associated with the devotees. We had seen COVID. So it was spreading from one person to another person. Or we know about tuberculosis, that it is infectious. Or cholera, it spreads through the foodstuff. So if such material diseases are getting infected by eating the foodstuff left by disease patient, similarly, Prabhupada says, if we eat the remnants of foodstuff left by a Vaishnava, we become Vaishnava. So this is an infection, becoming a devotee. But then it is such an infection that we should voluntarily accept it. The other infection should be avoided. But this infection of becoming a devotee is welcome. The process is the same. Param drishtva nivartate. So we refrain from the lower class of infection simply by infecting ourselves with the higher class or transcendental class of infection. Nārada Muni, though a small boy, it was not possible for him to study Vedanta or philosophy. He was not even educated. But simply by eating the remnants of the footstep left by the devotees, Dvija, he became exalted. So Krishna consciousness actually is there. In fact, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Now just look at the example of father and son which Prabhupada ji gives. There can be misunderstandings. But the moment father and son come together and their affectionate dealings being, immediately the original relationship is revived. It does not take much time. Similarly, we are already related with Krishna. Because Krishna says, Mahamevausha Jiva Bhuta, all living entities, they are my part and parcel. He also says, Aham Bija Pradha Pitaha, I am the seed giving father. So this relationship can be broken, not possible. So already the relationship is there, eternal. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Anadi karma phale pade bhava arna vejale tari bhare na dekhi upaya. We are going on. Anadi. Anadi means before this creation. Not only one creation, several creations we are forgotten. That we are in this material world. Krishna bhuliya jiva bhoga vancha kare. We are searching after material comfort, self gratification, so many ways. And that is why we are bonded here. The Krishna consciousness is there, but dirty things, contaminated life after life, that is accumulated. So you have to cleanse this. This is called as Vishuddha Chetasaha. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti, and we are eternally very affectionate and obedient servant of Krishna, which is our position. Somehow or other, it is covered. So garbage that is covering has to be removed. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Cheto Darpanamarjanam. This is the process of cleansing the mirror of the heart. Mirror, when it is covered by dust, we cannot see the face nicely. But as soon as it is nicely brushed and cleansed, we see exactly what we are. Similarly, Krishna consciousness means cleansing the heart of all the dirty things that is accumulated life after life. You already are devotees of Krishna, but you have forgotten, or this consciousness is covered. But by this process, devotional process, especially by kirtan, by chanting, glorifying the holy name of the Lord, the cleansing process is accelerated. And very soon it will get cleansed completely. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vraje. This is the facility of this age of Kali Yuga. Very important facility. Otherwise, this Kali Yuga is full of problems. Durbiksha, Navratasya, Durbiksha Kara Pidita. People are disturbed very much. That Gachanti Giri Kananam. They will leave the home, family, go to forest, hills, die disgusted. So this Kali Yuga. So how one can clean the heart? We cannot sit peacefully for a moment. We are always disturbed in mind, anxiety. So we cannot meditate. So in Kali Yuga, meditation is not possible. Those who are trying, They cannot do any improvement in their life. They are just formal meditators. So, in this age, it is recommended that Kritaya dadhayato Vishnu Tretayam vaito makkaihi dvapare paricharyaya kalau tadadhari kirtanat. So, another process, as Narada Muni says, is Uchishta lepar anumedito dvijaha, to serve the devotees, a pure devotee. If we serve some way or the other, we contaminate his quality. Tadharma sakrita bhunjayan. So if anyone has got the desire that I shall enjoy this material world, he is a sinful man. If something is belonging to somebody and if you make plan to possess that thing, it is criminal. So Krishna is the Bhukta Bhuktaram Yagyatam Sam Sarva Lokamaheshwaram. He is the proprietor of all the world. Not a single plot of land belongs to anyone. Ishavasimidam Sarvam. So if Krishna is proprietor, he is enjoyer, then why should we desire to enjoy and own the property? This is criminal. So when one forgets Krishna is the enjoyer, and as soon as he forgets and tries to become the enjoyer, immediately Maya captures. Krishna bhuliya jiva vancha kare, pashate maya tare japati yadare. So we living entities, we are all Tistasta Shakti, the marginal potency of Krishna. So we are spirit soul. Our position is in the spiritual world, but we have fallen down on account of our desire to enjoy. What is required to be done is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, what I am. But we are not interested, we do not inquire. Ideally, we should inquire and purify. The purificative process, as mentioned here, is very simple. Try to take shelter of Matpada Raja Abhishekam. Prahlad Maharaj has also said the same thing. Naisham Mati Hitavad Urukram Angrim. That we have to take to the Angrim means leg. We have to become attached to the shelter of the Krishna's lotus feet and Nishkinchanam Maheshwam Padarajo Abhishekam. So long as it does not take the dust of the lotus feet of devotee who is Nishkanchan, who is not disturbed, we cannot become Krishna conscious. So if we associate with pure devotee and somehow give service to one another, to spiritual master, to Vaishnava, automatically we can become purified. And we should remain purified always by the regulative principles, by chanting, so that everyone is Vaishnava and everyone is serving everyone. In this way, the association will purify the whole world and we'll be able to go back home, back to Godhead successfully. Hare Krishna.